I'm just a guy who loves Disney that has way too much time on his hands. If anybody from Disney is watching, please don't sue me. I'm here to rate, review, and describe all of your favorite things from the magical world of Disney. I'm File91e and welcome to my Disney News and Reviews. Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Disney News and Reviews. I'm File91e. A pretty busy week for me this week, guys. I gotta get this done real quick. I got a wedding to go to tomorrow. I'm the best man in it, and it's gonna be pretty fun. I want to try to do some videotaping there, and we'll see how that turns out. Not too stressed about it, but I'm ready to get it over with. I'm sure they are too. To get married and go on living a good life. Congratulations, Emily, Andres. Love you guys. Love you guys. Okay, the Where in the World answer from last week was Illuminations. Some of you thought it was Wishes. It was Illuminations, the beginning. One of my favorite all-time fireworks, and I love it. Great stuff. It is June JAMS month, so I'm going to be continuing the music theme stuff. I got an album today, which is 2 CDs. That is going to, I'll go through each track and then give you my top 5, so that's pretty cool. I actually got some gifts this past week. One was from my friend Kate for my birthday. She got me, I posted it on my Instagram, but she got me this map of Westeros. It's awesome. Thanks, Kate. Very awesome. I love Game of Thrones, the game, or the show Game of Thrones. She got me into it, so she knows I like Game of Thrones. And I want to have to make a frame to put this in. It's going to be great. I really love it. I keep going through it. And seeing all kinds of different things. So that's really cool. I love maps and I love Game of Thrones, so that's excellent. The other big gift was sent to me from a friend named John. He frequents Disneyland a lot, and he recently went down to Star Wars weekend, so he got me an obscene amount of stuff. I mean, it was pretty big. So let me just show you. Packing peanut. Yes, he got me a packing peanut. No, we first off we got this this mug, the Stormtrooper mug with the pop top. I think that's really awesome. It's hilarious. I'm sure that there was some form of slushy drink in here, but that's really cool. Got a vinylmation of Darth Goofy. Very cool stuff there. Very, very awesome. I thought that was really great. He got me one other vinylmation. This is the Indiana Jones Series 1. You got it comes with in Indiana Jones with in the robes and everything as he's trying to go to the map room, and then it comes with another one. So I was able to open it up, and the actual hidden vinylmation was Belloc in the in his robes, the ceremonial robes, right before he gets his head bursted into fire. So that's really awesome. I got the hero and the villain all in the same pack. That's just quite great, and I just love it. He knew, he knows or knew that I love Indiana Jones. So I'm pretty sure he couldn't pass that one up. So that was great. And we're still going, yes. Okay, just a ton of maps, as always, a ton of maps. Everybody gives me maps. I love maps and free stuff from Disney World. I never ever expect you guys to get me anything because half the time I just like the maps and things like that. So all of this is crazy. Now this is pretty interesting. This is says the Star Wars Weekends 2014, and this is one of the 500 units of this lanyard and metal are also available within the pin set. This is a Disney pin. Here, not sure if you can see it. Let me just check this out. Check this pin out. Check this lanyard and pin out. I mean, this is pretty. This is pretty crazy. This is limited edition of 2200. This is mainly just for the 2014 Star Wars weekends, and I really hope he got one for himself, because if he didn't, that would really make me feel bad. So that was completely awesome. Now this was great. This was the Haunted Mansion. This is also goes for June Jams. This is the Haunted Mansion original 1969 souvenir album. I am going to have to open this up and rip this. It includes the story and song from the Haunted Mansion, the bonus track Grim Grinning Ghosts, and a digital image gallery. So very cool stuff there. Just absolutely insane. Very awesome. There's that. Where's the, okay. And then he also got me actual pins. The first pin, which is excellent, Star Wars Weekend 2014. One of the engraved pins. This says Bounty Hunter on it, which is excellent. I think that's totally awesome. This awesome pin. It's a portrait of Walt, and Mickey's right there, holding the portrait of Walt. I think that's really awesome. And then the final one, I needed one of these. It's a 2014 pin. It also spins. Let me try to hold it there. It actually it spins. If you do that, so that's really cool. I love the year pins. Anytime that there's a year pin, I really dig it because I want to try to keep getting the year pins, which is awesome. So, John, I really don't know what else to say. You did way too much, just way too much. But I'm so thrilled with all of this. I didn't know what, I really didn't, as I was pulling the stuff out, I didn't know what to say. I was so flabbergasted that you would think of me that much to get me all that stuff. And I just hope you had a great time at Star Wars Weekends, because it's one of the things I want to do. And I talk to you on Facebook a lot, and I really hope that you had a great time, and thank you so much for this. It was unreal. I was totally not expecting it. He even sent me a note that said surprise. And dear File91e, I made it through another Star Wars weekend. Had more fun this year than last year. I picked up a few items for you. I hope you enjoy them. P.S. See you in September. I will see him in September when I go to Disneyland. We're going to hang out a little bit there, and I hope to see a bunch of you there. That'll be fun. But John, there's no way I could match a gift like this, especially coming from Baltimore. All we have is Old Bay and crabs, and I don't think they'll let me bring crabs through security. But I might bring you some Old Bay and stuff, and I might get you something while we're down there. But it's unreal, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really do. I was totally, yeah, you got me. I'm speechless. That's pretty much it. So John, thank you so much, and Kate, thank you so much for the awesome map. It was great, and I cannot wait to frame this. It's going to be awesome. So thank you guys so much for the gifts. You made this birthday something really cool, so I appreciate that. Yeah, so that's what's been going on with me this week, so let's get right to the news. Disney has released the lineup for this year's 4th of July festivities around Walt Disney World. In the Magic Kingdom, there will be a special fireworks show. In Epcot, the Illuminations will have its regular 4th of July modifications. Also, Voices of Liberty will perform, as well as having special character performances, and even a drum and fife performance, where they have performances around the World Showcase there. So that's really cool. Epcot always does 4th of July really well. In Hollywood Studios, there will be a special DJ set and a rockin' 4th of July celebration, so that's really cool. To find out all the times and more information about the 4th of July festivities, follow the link below. Very cool stuff. A new coffee kiosk is under construction on Discovery Island at Disney's Animal Kingdom. The new kiosk, which will presumably be a Joffrey's location, Joffrey from Westeros, gotta kill him, is being built just to the side of the Flame Tree Barbecue restaurant near the Dinoland USA Bridge. So if you're into Joffrey's coffee, which hopefully does not have any of the purple poison in it, that's good stuff. The Garden Grill restaurant in Epcot's Land Pavilion is once again rotating. The popular Future World restaurant has been stationary for a couple of months, fueling internet chatter that the restaurant would become just stationary. This past week, however, the restaurant has resumed turning once again, giving guests a view inside at the various scenes of the Living with the Land boat ride attraction. Also note the restaurant is new flooring, which is being replaced in sections, which with the first part already complete. So that's really cool stuff there. I've always wanted to go to the Garden Grove restaurant because I remember it turning one of the times I went down, so that always seemed pretty fun. And finally, the main feature pool at Disney's Wilderness Lodge Resort is scheduled to be closing for a refurbishment later this year. The Silver Creek Springs pool is expected to close on September 3rd through to November 27th, reopening again on November 28th. During that time, the Quiet Pool will remain open, and guests will be able to use pools at both the Fort Wilderness Resort and the Disney's Contemporary Resort, with transportation provided for both. So basically, that pool's going down. They're going to be redoing it, and you have access to many other pools in its stead. So it's going to be down for a big old refurbishment there in September and November, or September through November. So that's a 2 or 3 month. Good Lord, jeez, math, Nick, math. Yeah, so that is the news for this week. Let's get right to the reviews. Alright guys, the only thing I want to be reviewing today is the official album, The Happiest Celebration on Earth 2-disc set for the Walt Disney World theme album sort of thing. Since it's 2 CDs filled with tracks, I figure that's enough to tide you over, and I will give you my top 5 tracks for each CD at the end of this broadcast. So let me give you a little bit of information about this CD. This is the Disney World. This is one of the Disney World themed albums. There is a Happiest Celebration on Earth disc set for Disneyland, and that's usually the one that gets popped up. You have to put official album : the Happiest Celebration on Earth, and you'll find this one. I picked this up the first time I went down to Disney World in 2006. I wouldn't say the first time, but it's the first time I had been back in my older years, and I picked it up, and this was one of those albums that I just kept listening to and really got me back into Disney, and I wanted to review it and put it on notice here because a lot of people really like this album. It's pretty neat. Well, the producers that produced this album wanted it to feel kind of retro, and they wanted to show new Disney as well as old Disney. So there's a lot of retro tracks on here, which got me interested in learning about stuff. And a lot of the retro tracks are from Epcot, so that's got me learning about older Epcot and gave me a new appreciation for it. And this album pretty much started this whole thing, because I just became completely obsessed by it. Now there are 2 CDs, but they're broken down into songs from each park. So you have them like the Magic Kingdom, then you got Epcot, and then you have a couple from the Animal Kingdom and Hollywood Studios. What's funny is that it's very heavy on the Magic Kingdom and Epcot because I don't think the Hollywood Studios really had its. Well, I mean, there's a couple Hollywood Studios songs. But not nearly as much, and because I guess there weren't as many themes or rides that stuck around that had a lasting theme. Obviously you had the Star Tours and the Twilight Zone, but there's like 12 songs just for the Magic Kingdom alone, and the Animal Kingdom had pretty much just opened, so there's only like a couple songs from the Animal Kingdom. I want to be reviewing the 4 Parks One World CD set next week, and you'll see that there's a lot more of the Animal Kingdom and the Hollywood Studios in there. But in this one, it's pretty much just Magic Kingdom and Epcot, because those parks had been around for such a long time and produced such a massive amount of musical media that you just had to show it out there. Yeah, so that's pretty much introing the CD. I think the CD came out in 2005, and they no longer make it. But if you get a chance to either somehow get it off of iTunes or something like that, or if you somehow downloaded it, don't do it illegally, or just get it from a friend or something like that. Listen to it and you'll see some really good songs. So I want to go through each of the tracks, and then I'm going to give you my top 5 tracks at the end of this whole thing. So disc 1 starts with Remember When by Leanne Rimes. This is the Disneyland 50th anniversary theme song. They threw this on here because this was kind of the whole celebration of Disney and everything. And I went back and listened to all of this stuff, and the track's nice. It's cool. It's a kind of a building track, but it almost sounds like a couple of the other songs. It kind of sounds like what is it? Destiny. It's on CD2. I got that same feel. Or American, or the one from American Adventure. It's one of these kind of cheesy songs about, like remembering and all that stuff. I'm sure Disney would have used it in a ton of commercials back then. I wasn't really watching or paying attention back then, but it was a good enough song. But it's one that I usually skip. So yeah. Then you got All Aboard, which is the Main Street station. That's all it is the guy saying all aboard and whatnot. It's not really even a track or anything, but if it brings back fond memories. It's a cool audio quip that they do to throw that in there. Then you got one of my all-time favorite tracks of this. It's the Welcome medley that you can hear on Main Street USA. I heard this song. I didn't hear it when I went down in 2006, so when I went back down in 2011 and 2008, I wanted to hear it, but I could never find it. My friend just was stumbling, was walking, because he was in there later than I was, and he heard it, and I finally got to see it, and I thought it was awesome. It starts off, it's a medley of songs that you hear when you enter the Magic Kingdom, early in the morning. You got the Welcome, song, which is basically right before rope drop, right before you even enter the thing, as you're standing there trying to get through, with your ticket and everything. You got Mickey Mouse and all them singing, welcome, 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 welcome. I just think it's great. And then it goes into another song of one of the trolley singers on Main Street USA. The trolley comes down and they sing and dance and sing the song, and it's really awesome. I don't know why I like it so much. To me, it reminds me of okay, that's cool. Like, it reminds me of walking into Disney World, walking into the Magic Kingdom, seeing the castle, and just knowing that I'm here. So I love that song. It really, sticks in my heart. Then you got the Tiki 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 Room from the Enchanted Tiki Room. Obviously, they separate all of the songs by section, which is kind of cool. So we're in Adventureland now, and obviously the Tiki Room is the Tiki Room. There's not really much else to say. Obviously they didn't give you the whole audio track from the Tiki Room attraction. They condensed it down into the stuff that you really predominantly need to hear. And it's great. It's fun, and there are other tracks out there where you hear the entire stuff, all the narration and things like that. And while that's fun for some hardcore die-hard Disney fans, for everybody else who particularly don't like the Tiki Room, just hearing the song, in the Tiki 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 Room, does enough for them. So that was fun to hear. Then you got the Swiss Polka from the Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse. This is, I think, only in the Magic Kingdom, and I think you can only hear that here. What this is from, it's the polka dance that the Swiss Family Robinson family dances to in the movie, the Swiss Family Robinson. And you can predominantly hear it in the organ area, and the organ is supposedly playing this song in honor of them, and that's pretty cool. It's a standard polka number. It's fun to listen to. It's not that long, but it's a fun track, and if you like the Swiss Family Robinson, you'll definitely remember this. Then another big track is Yo-Ho, A Pirate's Life for Me, from obviously Pirates of the Caribbean. You had to have this on there. One of the greatest songs that Disney parks ever produced was this song. In this other album that I have, the Pirates of the Caribbean whole track, the whole audio track is on there, the whole ride, including the narrations and stuff, and the dead men tell no tales, and the keep both hands inside the car if you please, that sort of thing. So with this one, it's just pretty much the song Yo-Ho, 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 A Pirate's Life for Me. But they do have a couple audio cues in there right before you get into that, so you get a feel for the ride, which is excellent. These medleys on here are very good because they give you a feel for the attraction without going way too long and keeping you, bored. Again, if you're a die-hard Disney fan, kind of like I am, with the long ones, you can actually listen and kind of ride along in your mind. But if you just want to listen to the song and get a feel for the attraction, they did this right with this album. and this one in particular, Pirates of the Caribbean, was excellent. It was so fun. Then, this is interesting, you have Friend Like Me, which is the Enchanted Tiki Room under new management. Back in the 90s, the Enchanted Tiki Room kind of was going through a renovation because not many people were kind of visiting it. And so they threw Iago from Aladdin in there, and that fit with the whole Aladdin theme being added into the Adventureland, and because Aladdin was huge, obviously. And so Iago's in there, and he's pretty much this. The song pretty much starts off the same as the first Tiki Room, but then it fades away, and Iago comes in and starts singing his rendition of "Friend Like Me" from the Aladdin movie. He obviously, modifies the words for his stuff, and it's pretty interesting to hear this track. It was fun while it lasted. I'm kind of glad they went back to the original Tiki Room, although it is a modified version of the original. But it's very classic, and you don't have to love the Tiki Room, but you got to respect it because Walt loved it, and it was the first bit of animatronics that were introduced into the park. So you gotta love it. And this was interesting though to have for posterity, just to hear and remember that at one point Iago did take over the Tiki Room, so that was pretty interesting. Now we're getting into Frontierland. We got the Bear Band Serenade, which is from the Country Bear Jamboree. There's a lot of numbers in the Country Bear Jamboree, a lot of musical numbers. This is the main theme from the Country Bear Jamboree. You'll hear this a lot, and it's one of my my brother and I's favorites. Whenever we were in the car as youngsters, we just jammed to this, just because it's a fun thing to tap your feet to. Very cool stuff, very fun, and it's a very good track. Then you go into the Splash Mountain medley from Splash Mountain, obviously, because Splash Mountain has a lot of scenes and a lot of music that was taken from the Adventures of Brer Rabbit there. And so it starts off with "How do you do, my blood meeting, pretty good, show you're born," that sort of thing, and it ends with "Zippity Doo Dah," and it pretty much takes you all the way through the ride of Splash Mountain, only not as long. Again, they condensed all this stuff down into the essence of what the ride is, which is a lot of the different musical cues, and there are some audio cues in there from the ride, like "We'll show you a laughing place," and then you go down and you hear the splash. And then that was obviously the drop, and you're going to be hearing "Zippity Doo Dah," and you do. So it's really cool how they condense all that stuff down into like a 15 or 20 minute ride into like a 7-minute song, which is cool, and especially when you're riding, you don't constantly want to hear that in the background, but you get a good taste, and it totally works. Then you got, we're moving into Liberty Square. You go right into the Grim Grinning Ghosts from the Haunted Mansion. Again, one of the big songs from the Haunted Mansion, or the biggest song. And they have some audio cues before that. There's the Ghost Waltz before that, and the intro into the Haunted Mansion. There are other CDs that do the whole Ghost Host narration, but this one kind of cuts it off. With "Ghoulish Delight," and then it cuts right into the Ghost Waltz, and then it goes right into the Crypto's Shriek and the Tombstones Quake, that sort of thing. So again, you get the essence of the ride, and it's very fun. This is probably my brother's favorite track on this CD because he loves the Haunted Mansion so much. Then you go into Small World, which is again a kind of a smaller version of a Small World, considering that ride is like 20 minutes long, and it's just just constantly say the same song over and over again. This one's kind of cool. It's a very a fanfare filled entrance, and then it goes into the different versions of Small World. They choose, I want to say 6 or 7 different languages, and pull it in there with the grand finale, so it's not making you completely insane. But it is fun, to hear, and it's a little bit more rewarding than having to sit through 20 minutes of it. But if you were actually on the ride, the 20 minutes would go by quick, obviously. But unless you're stuck, in which case that extra 20 minutes can be oh so long. Then we go into the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, which is basically a medley of all the songs from the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh movie, and it takes you through the ride of the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. I mean, it's nothing crazy, nothing, you know, glorious, but it's the familiar song. So if you're a fan of Winnie the Pooh, that's really cool. I think a couple of them are instrumentals, which is nice. So that's pretty fun too. But those are the only two from Fantasyland, considering they just now renovated Fantasyland. They didn't throw in Peter Pan or anything like that, which is interesting. I guess they might have cut them for time. I'm not sure. Then we got Mickey's Toontown Fair. You remember that? Remember Mickey's Toontown Fair? We went into that. That just shows you how the age of this CD. We got the Solo Pilot Blues from the Mickey's Toontown Fair. That was from Goofy's Barnstormer, and you would hear that when you were on the Barnstormer. You know, so it's a cool track. You know, nothing really too special for me. I couldn't really get on the Barnstormer, but you know, it was fun, and it's, you know, it is a funny track because you hear you know, Goofy singing, which is pretty nice. Now we get into Tomorrowland, and this is pretty fun because the first song on here in Tomorrowland is The Best Time of Your Life, which is from the Carousel of Progress. Now, a lot of people remember the Carousel of Progress as having "There's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow," that one. But what happened was, after I think I want to say a year or so of that, GE was upset because that song didn't really go with what they were hoping for. They wanted something to talk about the greatness of today and how today's technology is great, so people will go out and buy today's GE technology, not tomorrow, not wait for tomorrow's GE technology. So what they, you know, the Sherman Brothers did, they came up with that song, you know, "Time of Your Life," and, you know, "Now is the time, now is the best time," that sort of thing. And it kind of had the same kind of fervor for, you know, for the Carousel of Progress. But in my personal opinion, I like the old one better. But I'll get to that in a minute. Those two, the two Carousel of Progresses, are split up by Planetary Boogie, which is can be found in Cosmic Ray Starlight Cafe, being sung by Sunny Eclipse, your lounge singer. Cosmic Ray Starlight Cafe is a very underrated quick service restaurant. I really enjoyed it. We ate there the first time when we went back down in 2006 with my dad, and we ate there and we had a great time. Sunny Eclipse was singing this song, and as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh, I remember that. And it's really cool. It's still there. That animatronic Sunny Eclipse is still there, and he's still singing this song, which is fun. So if you ever get a chance, go to, you know, try out Cosmic Ray Starlight Cafe. Then you got, from the second Carousel of Progress song, "There's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow." I would say this is better than the original. I think a lot of people clamored for it to come back because they loved the original so much, but the one, "Now Is the Time," you know, lasted for so long you couldn't quite, you know, remove it from Disney history, you know, because it was a key piece of the Carousel of Progress. They did the right thing. They switched it back, but they also did the right thing here by referencing it as an older theme. And it was funny. I didn't know that, you know, before 2006. So when I heard this, I was like, why does this say Carousel of Progress? I didn't hear that on the Carousel of Progress. I did some research and found out, you know, all that stuff that had happened, and that had begun my Disney history research, and this is where I am today. So yeah. Now we're moving into Epcot. This is still disc 1. And we get the Epcot entrance medley from Future World, which is one of the best tracks on the on this thing. That's because of this awesome violin opening, and occasionally you'll hear it still in Epcot. I hope that when they they renovate Epcot, they'll keep some of that old classic music, because it really does work out that way. And I guess you could, you know, boost it up with some kind of weird techno, for new music and whatnot, you know, to kind of give an old and new sort of feel. But I really dig this, the Epcot entrance medley. A lot of people dig it, you know, as soon as they hear it in my videos, and I tell them that's this. Very, very cool stuff. I love this old Epcot stuff. So the Epcot entrance medley, very cool. Then we go into Tomorrow's Child, which was originally sung on Spaceship Earth. It's not there anymore. You would hear it on the way out of Spaceship Earth as you were, leaning down and seeing all the, like the little video package that they had there. Nowadays, you play with the thing and find out your future, which is it's a lot better. But I have a couple friends who went to Epcot in the early days, and they missed the Tomorrow's Child song. That was one of the songs that they really fondly remembered. But I still think that the new thing's better. It's more interactive and it keeps people entertained. But the Tomorrow's Child song, occasionally you'll hear its melody in Epcot at places, but for the most part it's gone. But it was fun that they included this as a throwback. I went back and did some more research, and found out all that information. Now the next couple of songs are actually not there anymore because it deals with the old universe of energy. The new Ellen's Energy Adventure didn't come in until around 1996-97, so they actually had a couple themes for the University of or the universe of energy. The main theme was energy. You make the world go round. Again, this was in there from 1982 to 1996. It was just a good song. It was kind of like Tomorrow's Child. It was an anthem for the universe of energy, and it got people, kind of cool, or supposedly amped up for the ride. But overall, it was, it's kind of a meh song. I didn't, it's very 80s, I guess you could say, which is kind of appropriate because that's what it was. But it fit the ride at the time, let's just say that, so it worked out that way. Then you got the Universe of Energy theme, which is the theme for around the Universe of Energy area. And you can still hear some of these melodies, while you're around that Epcot. Epcot still has those old themes, still kind of tied in, which is great. It's another song, kind of like that, another anthem song you would hear in the entrance or the exit of the Universe of Energy ride. And overall, it's just great. It's a fun, it's a fun number, and it's okay. It's okay. Next up, you get another one of my favorite tracks. This is the Test Track medley from the original Test Track 1.0. This song you would hear actually in the demonstration area and the waiting area, rather, for the original Test Track, and I liked it. When I was the only one who had gone on Test Track in 2006. Everybody had gone to take a nap, and I went back to Epcot and I got on Test Track, single rider line, so that was an experience. And I remember hearing this song when I was waiting. So when I got this CD, I had to explain to everybody, especially my brother, what this song was, and it became one of the songs that we really like, especially when we were doing road trips. It just has a fond, a thing for me. So the Test Track medley, very, very cool. It's not there anymore, but if you go and watch old videos in the waiting area, you'll hear this song. Then you got It's Fun to Be Free from the old World of Motion, which Test Track took the place of. This was pretty neat. It dealt with the old World of Motion. Every kind of pavilion had an anthem or a theme, and this was that for the World of Motion. Obviously, it's not there anymore, but it's fun that they included this as well as all the Test Track stuff. So that was really neat. Then the final track on this is Listen to the Land from Living with the Land in the Land Pavilion. I think there's a common theme there. But you can still actually hear this song because the Living with the Land ride is still there. It's a very underrated attraction in Epcot, and I hope they never remove it. It's very fun to go and see what they have, what they do. The water moves with you. It's very soothing and relaxing. It's a different change of pace from all the excitement of Test Track or Tron Track and Mission Space and whatnot. So and even Soarin', it's just fun to kind of get on a ride and just chill out, maybe even learn a thing or two. So Disney did it right with that, and that's why it's still it's still kicking and doing pretty well. So check out Living with the Land when you go down there and listen to the land. And you'll hear it usually around the exit area. A lot of these anthems are played in the entrance or the exit area. That's when a lot of that stuff is played. So that was the final one for disc 1. We're now getting into disc 2. I'm just going to go right into it. We're still in Epcot, we're still in the Land Pavilion, and we're now going to the Kitchen Cabaret medley. The Kitchen Cabaret was an opening thing for Epcot. Basically, it was right next to Soarin' and A Livin' with the Land, and basically it was a puppet show and puppet animatronic show where they talked about food, and there were different skits and different like tunes that would pop up, and that's what you get with this. They take they took all the best skits and merged them together, mushed them together, and into one little medley tune. And it was fun. I got interested in trying to wonder. I didn't know what this was, so I went back and checked it out, and it's fun. It was replaced by Food Rocks, and now it's just, I think, extra seating, to be honest. So overall, that was pretty fun, and it was cool that they added that. Now we're getting into probably my favorite track on here, which is Soarin'. They call this Soarin' over California. I guess they knew they were going to be bringing Soarin' over, and they did, thank God, because Soarin' is one of the best attractions in Epcot, in Disney World, and the music of Soarin' is some of my all-time favorite that Disney ever produced. The track that you hear is actually the track that goes, that is on the actual screen that you listen to. It's behind the screen that you're listening to. It's the actual ride, but also the Soarin' cue. The cue line music is just as good as this, and I'm glad that they included Soarin' on this, and I have fond memories of that. And occasionally, if I ever fly anywhere, this is the the theme that I put on my video of me flying somewhere. So that's really, really good stuff. I love that track. Now we're going into the Journey into Imagination, and that is One Little Spark, the first one. That's the Journey into Imagination with Figment. One Little Spark is a melody that you will hear all around, Epcot, and especially in the Journey into the Imagination Pavilion area. It was sung by the Dreamfinder originally in the Journey into Imagination with Figment attraction, and it became kind of a hit because a lot of people liked it, and it's very catchy, and it's not that bad. So having this included was great. Again, because at the time I didn't know what a Figment was. I did not, 2006, I didn't know what a Figment was. I missed all of that as a kid, and going back and appreciating it. I really think now they could do some big things with the Dreamfinder, updating him a little bit, making him kind of a steampunk sort of guy. I really think they could, hip him up, make him, the beard not as fluffy and everything, give him a little bit of an edge. And I think people will really respond to him more. But still make him cool and fun and everything like that. You don't want to make him too much of a bad guy or anything like that, but he just seems, you got to have him be fun. Then you got Magic Journeys, which I had to do some research on here because I always thought Magic Journeys was over in the Magic Kingdom, over in Tomorrowland. Not so true. It started here in the Magic Eye Theater, which is the theater that houses Captain EO and Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves. Or Honey, We Shrunk the Audience, sorry. So I had, it was interesting hearing that, and I was like, wait, isn't that in the Magic Kingdom? So I thought they mixed it up. But no, so they have the old Magic Journeys theme in there, which is that weird, ethereal Magic Journeys, that sort of theme. And you're like, okay. I don't know, however, I don't like this song for whatever reason. Like, I think it's too kind of, whoa, that sort of thing. Whenever I listen to it, that's my reaction is, what am I listening to? Oh dear. So, Magic Journey. Then we go right into Making Memories, which is also from the Journey into Imagination, and it's actually the pre-show for Magic Journeys is where you would hear this song. And I originally thought that the Making Memories, which is all about, deals with photography, would be in the, because there used to be just a camera shop in Epcot, and I figured that's be where it was. But apparently it was in the pre-show for Making Memories, and it was written by the Sherman Brothers, which is why it's so addicting in my head. And I really enjoyed this theme because I'm a photographer, and I thought it was a very fun song. So excellent stuff there. Then you got the song Destiny from Mission Space. You can pretty much hear this in the exit of Mission Space. You can hear the melody. There's a 47-second, kind of loop of that. Again, it sounds like the Leanne Rimes opening number, so I know it's not one of my favorites. It's kind of one of those anthem, so sort of things that again appears in either the entrance or the exit. As you're exiting, you listen to this song and you're like, oh, it's nice. You walk away. There's more from Mission Space that I that I liked. And I think that's they actually cover that in the Four Worlds One or Four Parks One World CD, but I'll talk about that next week. Then you got Space, which is a track from the Old Horizons thing, and I knew I remembered it from somewhere. And as soon as I did some research on it, I was like, Horizons, that needs to come back. Horizons was so good. And there's also the New Horizons theme from Horizons. These are the two tracks in there. And it was funny because when I listened to these tracks in 2006, I was like, where is this awesome music in the world? I don't remember them being on the rides that I went on, and I found out it was Horizons, and I went back and watched it, and I'm like, oh my god, that's so cool. And then I remembered I went on it when I was a kid, and I was like, oh, this is so great. So including those two Horizons tracks was great. I really did dig it. In fact, the space theme from Horizons kind of got edged out of my top 5, but it's definitely up there for me. Now we're entering the World Showcase. You got Canada, Your Lifetime Journey, which is from the Canada Pavilion, the Circle Vision 360 show, which is great. It's the main kind of Canada theme in there. Canada, my Canada. There you go. Creed version. Canada! Canada! Yeah! Oh, that's fun. Canada! Yeah! Oh my god. Okay, I want to be doing that. Canada! I'm having way too much fun with Canada! I'm really upset that I won't see Canada when I go to Disneyland. Gotta go back to Disney World just so I can see Canada! Oh Lord. One more time. Canada! Okay, I'm done. So yeah, that you get that theme. It's not one of my favorites. Like all of the Circle Vision movies have those songs in there, and it's good enough. I'm just not a big fan of it. You got Impressions de France, which is from Impressions de France in the French Pavilion. And it's another French commercial, that sort of thing. Again, very good stuff from the French composers and the French, stuff like that. French, everything, very cool. And then you got Golden Dream, which is from the America Pavilion. It's the exit of the American Adventure, which is fun. And again, it's another anthem sort of song. And there are very few anthems that I really do enjoy actively. But then, this is okay, but it's no better than Canada. So we'll see what happens there. I'm sorry. I want to be doing it the rest of the whole show. We're now in Disney's MGM Studios, because it was known as MGM Studios then, but now it's Hollywood Studios. So let's be current, people. Let's be current. Starts off with "Hooray for Hollywood," which is one of my favorite tracks on here. Again, it was just about edged out because of the Twilight Zone and Star Tours and all that stuff. Those are some of my favorite themes, just in general. So I had to pick them. I had to pick, very, very, very democratic sort of picking here. But so "Hooray for Hollywood" is you hear on Hollywood Boulevard or Sunset Boulevard. It's just a great theme. It gets you in the mood. You're in the movies now when you enter Hollywood Studios with this theme in the background. Very, very fun stuff. And whenever I hear it, when I watch the Oscars, I always think Disney World. Then we move on to the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror theme, which is from the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. And the way they merged all of the audio cues from the Twilight Zone and the theme of Twilight Zone and the whole going up and going down just was really great. And it's one of my favorite themes on this track. And it was just cool to see how they mixed it up and everything. Then you get Star Tours, and that narrowly got edged out on this thing because I'm a huge Star Wars fan. This is the old Star Tours 1.0, and you hear the old pilot there, and it's really cool because it's just a lot of the Star Wars music, and I could have put this as a top 5 because I love Star Wars so much, but I wanted to give some other tracks some recognition, so I kind of bumped this a little bit. But again, it's all your favorite Star Wars themes, the whole Empire theme and the flying and going through Coruscant, Leia's theme, just all the other stuff. And it's just great to see how they merge them together. And whenever I'm in a Star Wars mood, I listen to this, and it's all the good themes right there. Then you got this Playhouse Disney theme, which is kind of funny because I think it's the palate cleanser between Star Wars and the Indiana Jones one. Again, it's just the theme from Playhouse Disney. If you remember what Playhouse Disney was, did you guys get Playhouse Disney in Canada? Did you? I don't know if you did or not. So I'm just asking if you got Playhouse Disney in Canada. You probably did. So, moving on to Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular from the Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular ride. Again, it's a medley of all the big themes in there. You get the the theme with the big ball and him finding the idol, and then the fight in the town, and then the fight in the in the airfield. You get all that stuff, and then the big triumphant Indiana Jones thing in the end. And of course, this is one of my favorite themes because it is Indiana Jones. And I just think it's great. Whenever I hear it, it pops on my iPod. I have to listen to it because I love Indiana Jones so much. So great stuff from the Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular, and it's just great to to hear this really fun stuff. Now we're into the Animal Kingdom, which is funny because there's only like 3 or 4 actual songs, and 2 of them come from the same thing. So I'll try to get into it. But the best theme from the Animal Kingdom on here is the Tree of Life theme, also known as Tree of Life 1. Because there's actually 4 different Tree of Life themes. And I would say this is, if you want to get an audio feeling of the Animal Kingdom, this song will do it. I love listening to it for whatever reason. I love these types of songs where it has like the drum beat and the little Peruvian flute and the kind of like the chanting and things. Like, I love it. That stuff, I just dig it, and I've always loved that stuff ever since I was a kid. I don't know, it sounds so adventurous to me to want to go there and hear those different beats and rhythms, and it's really cool. So this became one of my favorite songs, especially on this CD. This was one of my all-time favorites. Then you got Beauty and the Bees, which is from Beauty and the Beast, which was from the It's Tough to Be a Bug waiting area. You can hear this to this day in the It's Tough to Be a Bug waiting area. They play a lot of show tunes, but with in the waiting area with a lot of bug sound effects, and this is one of the better ones, and it's really cool to sing along with it while you hear the humming of the bees and the crickets and things like that. So very cool stuff. Then you got It's Tough to Be a Bug theme from It's Tough to Be a Bug, and you can hear that at the exit of It's Tough to Be a Bug. It's the last musical number that they play, and it's pretty good. It's fun. It's nothing really spectacular to write about, but it does harken back. It makes you think about It's Tough to Be a Bug, which is one of the better attractions in the Animal Kingdom. So good stuff there. And then the final one from the Animal Kingdom park is Diggin' in Dino Land, which is from the Boneyard play set. And this theme is actually, Diggin' in Dino Land is fun because it's kind of like a ska sort of reggae sort of thing. And it's funky, it's cool, it's made its rounds in the parks, and a lot of people dig it, so dig it. Digging in Dino Land. Did you laugh over in Canada? Digging in Dino Land, another one of the great ones, and one of my favorites, but again, it didn't make the top 5, but this is for whatever reason one of my favorites. And then the last one on here is the Cinderella Surprise from the Cinderella Castle thing. I guess because for time, I guess they could have put Wishes. This might be the parade show sort of theme area. I don't know why they chose Cinderella Surprise, but I'm glad they did because I actually had no idea what it was, and it made me go back and watch the Cinderella Surprise show, considering they're always changing their stage shows, and I really enjoyed it. And overall, you know, it's a pretty good way to end the CD. You got Mickey and all them talking, and it's a fun, uplifting sort of way to end the CD. I guess they could have either thrown Wishes in there or the Spectro Magic theme, but they all have their own CDs. So it's a good way to end the CD, and it's a good way to get everything going. So those are all the tracks from this thing and my opinions on them. Very good CD. And now I'm going to give you my top 5 from CD 1. 5 is the Test Track Medley, love that one. 4 is Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow, gotta love that one. 3 is Yo-Ho, A Pirate's Life for Me. 2 is the Epcot Entrance Medley, I mean, it's just so great. And 1 is the Welcome Medley. It gets me in the best mood ever when I'm going to you know, when I'm feeling down. I think about that and walking into the Magic Kingdom. It's just so great. And disc 2, number 5, Star Tours just edged it out. Number 5 was the Twilight Zone Tower Terror theme. I love the Twilight Zone theme. It's one of my favorites. 4 is Making Memories. Just one of my all-time favorites that I like to sing to. And overall, it does. You know, it's one of my favorites. 3 is the Tree of Life theme from the Animal Kingdom. I love that. 2 is the Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular for obvious reasons. And 1 is Soarin' over California, but it should be Soarin' over Canada. Yes, got it again. So yeah, you know, I love Soarin' and everything's great. This CD set is one of the best sets I've ever gotten. The 4 Parks One World is pretty good. This one holds a special place in my heart because it has a lot of old tracks on it mixed in with some of the newer tracks. Yes, we have a lot of new stuff now, and the Test Track stuff is old now and all that other stuff. But there's something about listening to the old tracks mixed in with the new tracks that makes it gives you that impression that Disney is everlasting, and no matter what, it produces great stuff, whether it be new or old or anything like that. So it's great. So what am I going to give the official album, the Happiest Celebration on Earth CD set? I'm definitely giving this 5 big stars. It's one of my all-time favorites, and I urge you guys to check it out, borrow it from a friend. If you can listen to it online somehow, listen to it online. Don't do anything illegal, obviously. You know, it's very fun and totally worth your time to listen to. You hear some great old stuff mixed in with some great newer stuff, and it's just so awesome. And the 4 Parks One World CD set, which came out a couple years after, I have that one too. I obviously has a lot of the newer things on there, and I think they do a little bit better of a job in splitting it up with a lot of the newer stuff. But this one has a lot of the older themes in it, and it's just great. So I urge you guys highly to check that out, and I highly recommend it. So yeah, the official album, the Happiest Celebration on Earth for the Walt Disney World parks, 5 stars. Check it out. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's Disney News and Reviews. Again, thanks to John and Kate for the great, gifts. You're just so awesome. I just so great. You guys spoil me way too much. And it's been fun. Emily, Andres, you're getting married tomorrow. It's going to be great. I got to get this stuff done and edited. So it's awesome. Hopefully you're not taking a or hopefully you are taking a honeymoon to Canada. That's okay. So that felt forced. I can't wait for that. Can't force it. Just has to happen. So yeah, if anybody from Disney is watching, please don't sue me. I want people to go to Disney World and pick up these little albums. These 2-disc albums will keep you in the mood. It did for me, keep you in the mood while you're away from Disney World, and it's just so great to hear the themes from Disney World. We all know the songs from the movies, but the songs from the actual parks I just think are a little bit better. But I'm a little bit biased because I love the parks a little bit more than I do the movies. So yeah. And if you are going down to Disney World, be sure to go to allers.net, touringplans.com, wdwmagic.com for our latest and greatest Disney news. WaltDisneyWorld.com is good too, along with Passporter.com. They have some great stuff, so check them out as well. So yeah, you guys got last week's pretty easy. I'll do my best to stump you again this week, but I think you guys know way too much about your Disney parks, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So I'll see you guys next week for another Disney News and Reviews. And guys, where in the world am I this week? Bye.